Minus 97 and counting.
Suppression water system now being armed for release. We have 3 main engines ready for ignition. The shuttle now on internal power.
Good evening and welcome to Car Wax. I'm Michael, your bougie black brother, and we here for our weekly music review. And I'm here with my co-host, the bougie brother Sean. What's going on, brother?
What it, son?
So we've been kind of battling this. So much music been dropping. So much. We didn't realize the amount of shit that was going to be dropping, and it's interesting that it did though. But when you start shooting it out to me, Sean, did you expect all of this to be coming back to back like this?
Well, when you look at the year as a whole, yeah. But when it started coming out, it was like, dang, some more. Dang, I didn't know this came out. What? This came out too? You know, everything started coming out at once, I'm thinking, because this is my theory. Do we remember Dave East dropped an album earlier this year?
Yeah, very early.
Like, even though Baby Is That Deal, you know, his album, he's dropping another album at the end of this year.
And
I think we're going to remember the second album more than the first album.
Or the one with Gunna, you know?
Or the one with Gunna, yeah, exactly. So, you know, I think that, you know, the end of the year music is easier to retain, especially when you start doing the award shows and stuff. So, for some reason this year, a lot of artists knew that.
Yeah.
They were just like, you know what? I'm just going to hold out. Okay, Kanye came out. All right.
Jay-Z came out.
Okay, Jay came out. Okay,
Nas came out.
Okay, Nas. All right, everybody
coming out. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna wait. We're gonna keep on waiting. So, you know, it was definitely a surprise, man. A lot of surprising artists I didn't even know. A lot of music that surprised me to be better than I thought it was. Like, it's a lot of good stuff, man.
But today we doing the breakout, and the breakout is from the Migos. And yes, the amount of single and solo releases that's coming, you know, out of, what is that? The Quality Control group.
Quality Control.
They fucking
real quick?
dominated. Go ahead, bro.
Super duper shout out to QC Season. I'm talking about like highly impressive record company, man.
Yep.
They are doing everything. Like their management company, even though Cardi B isn't signed to QC, they're managing her.
Yes.
You know, even though Trippie Redd isn't signed to QC, they're managing him. And his last mixtape was fire. Yeah. You know, it definitely was in the XXXTentacion lane. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you heard that.
So I heard, remember you gave me the previous one, but I didn't get to the second one. Because remember I told you, I was like, man, this Trippie Redd sound like fucking XXX, you know?
Right, but that last one was super trash.
Okay.
This one, he changed his tones a little bit. It was more catchy. It was more comfortable on your ears. You know, the other one, he was like kind of screaming.
Yeah.
Like,
you'd be like,
calm down, you little rat. You little gremlin. Just yelling at me and shit. What the hell is wrong with you, bro?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But this one, he kept a melody.
Gotcha.
You know, he kept a tone. And for me, I was like, oh, shit, this sounds like some straight XXXTentacion shit. For real. But it sounded so good. It was almost like he was paying homage, but it was comfortable enough for me to be like, okay, this shit's cool.
Right.
This shit's real cool.
But QC had all types of shit coming out, dude. You
know, City Girls came out. You know, that's a girl group, a girl Miami group that be rapping and shit. They be talking that raunchy shit, but they straight. You know, that album got some nice cuts on it. That album got some the City Girls Girl Code album. I know you ain't gonna listen to it, but take my advice. Out of like, what is it, maybe 12, 13 tracks? Probably like 4 or 5 good ones.
Okay.
Like,
that ain't bad.
Little ratchet little girl. Okay. that was all right. You know, one of them can flow, And the other one is kind of just like, I even looked at their documentary.
Wow.
But again, man, I'm lingering, man. QC is in the mold. Your boy about to come out. Offset will be out in a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the year, I'm thinking that on the 30th, Baby's dropping. So, I think they still got maybe 2 more sneak albums that they haven't told anybody about.
So by the end of the year, they probably come out with about 8 fucking releases, maybe more.
Yeah. They're finishing out this season. They're finishing out this year with the album every week.
Damn.
That's the game plan,
market,
and that's what I see them doing, and I'm pretty sure that's going to pan out.
So with this QC releases, we wanted to put 2 together, which was TakeOff and Metro Booming.
Shout out to Metro.
Yeah.
Now is he QC's producer or?
See, I didn't dig into that, but he shows up on every fucking thing though. So are they managing him, and he's like that go-to producer for all their artists? Because he seems to show up on every goddamn thing, and you can hear that style just coming out in almost all of their releases.
Well, did you want to go with him first, or?
No, I want to probably TakeOff, because with the amount of people that they had on the Metro, we could talk about TakeOff, and to me, he had a good standalone. He had a good standalone, which I didn't expect anything from him.
Okay.
I honestly didn't. So I'd rather start off with the TakeOff.
So did you expect more?
No.
From the TakeOff?
Nope.
I mean, did you expect more from Migos? Did you expect more from Quavo than from TakeOff?
Yep, I did. So you notice how kind of disappointed I was with Quavo.
Right.
So when he dropped, I was kind of like, man, I'm very disappointed in that. That's not really what I thought it would be. So not listening to Migos as much, I didn't think much of TakeOff. And I remember you were saying, look, he got some pretty decent lyrical skills if you listen to him. And I was like, he gets lost to me. A lot of times, okay. I really don't know it's him sometimes. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he kind of got lost. So this was a good opportunity for me to say, okay, let me see what this dude got.
Right.
So, he comes out with The Last Rocket,
The Last Rocket.
The Last Rocket. Starting off with the Martian intro, ready to take off. And I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Good little intro.
Yeah, definitely a nice intro. Was not expecting this type of introduction, especially from TakeOff. He's an Atlanta-based artist.
Mm-hmm.
You're expecting some super hard beats, and then just for him to try to prove himself lyrically
mm-hmm.
to you. And it wasn't that approach. It was like, you just feel my vibe.
Yeah. And what he did for me was, man, I like this dude. I actually liked the way he flowed.
Mm-hmm.
I liked some of the things that he kind of put out because, She Gon' Wink came on and I was like, okay. I like that. Okay, not bad. And then None to Me. I was like, oh, okay. He talk about spending money. This shit ain't none to me. None to me. And as he goes through it, he did the flossing in a different way too. So he made the typical shit that you hear a little different. And that's where I kind of like enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? And then, kind of went down and I remember. And I was like, that shit sounds stupid, man. But then I was listening to what he remembered. And I was kind of like, okay, I see that now. And then it continued. Little stuff within it made me continue to listen to his lyrical way, and I just started enjoying it. My favorite is Insomnia because I just love the beat on that. You know what I'm saying? That beat that he puts on there, I was like, man, I fucking love this. And I played that one over and over. And I like the way Bruce Wayne kind of told his life when he was on stage and how he felt. And like he was, man, I almost felt like I had to throw up on this bitch. And it was just a feeling. But he came with it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of this that he did on this release was something that I just don't normally hear with Migos. So he almost said, I'm not going to do your typical shit. I'm going to do a couple of them, but I'm going to try to do what I like. Now, if this isn't what he liked, then he fooled me. You know what I mean? Okay. But I really, really enjoyed this. And it gave me a different feel of that, too. And, I like this dude. I like him the way he did it. And, you know, like I was saying with Quavo and Travis Scott, when they're two together, they play off each other so fucking well. But hearing Quavo alone, it was kind of like, yeah, man, you fucking disappointed me. Maybe you need to play off someone, in my opinion, that make your sound different. You know what I'm saying? But TakeOff, I just really, really like this album. I think he had a really good release.
So, to your point, the Quavo album, listening to it again after a few weeks, it is very one-dimensional. There is only a handful of songs to where you could be like, yeah. But to your point, they're still good enough for me to pop on. I love the Kid Cudi track. That is a hard track.
Yeah.
You know?
But we talk about the whole thing, though. You know, when we talk about the whole,
as a whole body of work, like I said, it was more of a feel than what this brought. Mm-hmm. Now, this, like you said, it was completely different. What stood out to me was no major features.
Yep.
He had somebody singing on it, and then he had Quavo on it. Mm-hmm. And to your point, he held his own. He held his own on this whole album, which was a stupid, tremendous surprise because when you're at the top of the game, you can afford to pay for any feature that you want.
Yep.
You know, he could have literally had an album full of features. Mm-hmm. And he did this dolo. So I had to give him for you being at the top of the game and doing that, I had to give you the utmost credit. You know, like, shit, boy, you didn't even put Offset on here. You didn't even put Cardi on here. You didn't even put Lil Baby on here. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, like, okay.
21 wasn't on this bitch.
Nope. So I had to give him major credit for that. Then I had to give him major credit, to your point, his substance. Mm-hmm. He had a lot of good substance on here. Like he was rapping ass TakeOff. You know what I'm saying? He was rapping, dog. You know, it was like what you've been looking for coming out of Migos. Everybody that's talking about mumble rap, when you listen to this, they're like, oh, well, Quavo be mumbling, dog. You know, but as Migos as a whole, when you listen to this, you're like, damn, this is pretty good. Yep. You know what I'm saying? On some rap shit. You know, so for me, you know, my standouts personally was Casper. I like the Casper.
Yeah, Casper was cool.
I like the soul playing. You know.
That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad at all. So, that wasn't bad. I thought it was gonna be some silly shit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Just based on the name. So that was almost dumb on my part to say soul playing. What the fuck? That goddamn Snoop Dogg shit. But it wasn't. It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Yeah, and then Lead the Way.
Oh yeah, I like that too.
Lead the Way. Watch out, lead the way. So
lead the wave.
For me, I think it was. So I expected. I don't know if I expected more or this just wasn't what I expected. You know, when I'm listening to the album, I'm just like, okay, he's lyrically there. Wow, that's impressive. Mm-hmm. You know, but it wasn't like, wow, that's impressive. It was like, okay, I knew he was there, and then I'm listening to it, and I'm just like, okay, he's good. Mm-hmm. Okay, he's good. But is this my favorite album? Is this a standout album for me? It is not.
No. And you know what? Don't get me wrong. When I said I liked it, it's not like, put him on the list. I'm not going to put him on the list. But, and maybe it's because I didn't expect anything. I expected to hear
no expectations from
exactly. And he came across as a guy that when I listen to Migos again, I'm looking for him now.
Right.
He established himself with this solo album right here. You know what I mean?
Nice.
And that was a good thing for me and for him as an artist to say, look, this guy decided to do things his way. And if his way is this way, he's a good artist. He's a pretty good album. And without a lot of that mumbling shit, he actually had some content on there.
Yeah,
and
man.
he didn't use that voice shit on there too.
Ad-libs to a minimum, you know, like he was rapping. He was rapping, dude. It was hardly any like gaps to where you were like, oh, there go the ad-lib.
There it is again,
You know, so that was pretty impressive, man. It was honestly, dude. It was a solid body of work. Yeah. I have more respect for him for his approach for this album. You know, I like the tracks, but more than liking the album, I'm like, to your point, I got more respect for him as an artist than I enjoyed the album, but I respect him as an artist more than I like the album.
Okay. That's
it's like
different way of saying it. Yeah. Okay.
Right. It's like you stood your own. You know, you didn't follow the trend of getting your features. You didn't do what your cousin, your brother did. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I know Offset album's going to sound totally opposite because he has to put his wife on there. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He has to put his wife on there. Like,
yeah. I mean, people expecting to hear her.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Hottest in the game.
Yeah. And you're not going to put her on there? You stupid? Yeah.
Right. So TakeOff really was like, no. This is what I wanted to do. This is my album. This is my approach. So just that alone was like, okay. And then I heard it and it was like, oh, wow, you really played the solo artist thing on this album. Like he put his mind in I'm a solo artist.
Yep.
You know, he wasn't like, okay, I'm an artist from Migos. Check this out. This is my side of the Migos.
Yeah.
It was like, nah, this is me. If I was an artist on my own, this is how all my music would sound.
And his production was pretty decent too.
Oh yeah, his production was there.
Yeah, his production went really well with him.
Mm-hmm. It didn't overshadow him.
Nope.
You know, and then again, he did this all by himself. How many other artists did that this year?
Yep. I mean, he didn't give, if you look at it, and I'm looking at the tracks, usually I get it on Apple, he didn't give credit to nobody. Nobody's got credit on there, but you know who the fuck is on there, though.
Yeah.
When you hear it, you know who's on there. Or, damn, he has some people singing on here, too. Whoa, okay. Damn, that's pretty goddamn cool. But he said, this is my album. Mm-hmm. This is something, and that's pretty different, too. Because like you said, he could have played off, like, what Offset or Quavo would have done and said, let me support what I'm doing with the same style like the group is, or let me bring them in and say, hey, look, when you look at the tracks, you say, oh, Quavo's on this one. I want to hear that one first.
Right.
No, fuck that.
You're skipping tracks.
Exactly. Just play my shit.
But they pulled that from Astro World. Travis Scott kind of did that also. He didn't put no features on his, so it was like you got to listen to it from front to back if you want to know who's on it.
And then you'd be like, "Oh shit!"
Like, wow, this is amazing. So, yeah, I have a lot more appreciation for him as an artist, and I'm growing with the music.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because his approach was just so different.
Yep.
It was like it's like I know the Offset album's going to sound like a Migos album.
Okay.
I know the Quavo album's going to sound like a Migos album. That's why I was just like, okay, this is going to be nice, fun. This is going to be like great. I'm going to be crunk as hell. I'm going to be ready to go to the club. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm popping the Quavo on, that's what I expected. You know what I'm saying? And then I was like, when the TakeOff came, I was like, okay, I know this is going to be lyrical, but I don't really know what I'm going to get. So let's pop this in and see. Yep. And it was an album.
Yep.
It was like,
It was a solo album.
Yeah,
it wasn't a solo album from the Migos. This was, I'm TakeOff, here's my solo album. And I really appreciated that.
Yeah.
That's what I appreciate the most from that. Because I didn't have any expectation. I thought I was going to hear another Migos or another Quavo type, release. And I was kind of like, damn, this is different.
Yeah.
They did have the flutes on there, though. Well, there was one song with the flutes and shit.
Come on, man. Them ain't going nowhere. I told you about the flutes, man. I told you about the flutes.
You did, yeah. They love that shit. But I was okay with it, though. I was okay. After you said that to me, I was like, oh, here it is. There it is. Oh, shit. Only one, so okay, I'm good with that and shit. But overall, man, again, a really enjoyable album. Very fucking enjoyable. And I'm if anyone speaks of it, I was like, I think without hearing the Offset, I'm putting this one back on. I wouldn't put Quavo back on, but I put this one back on every now and then because I just enjoyed. I was surprised. Let's put it that way. I was surprised that this guy did so well, and I was like, man, I like a couple of these. Why do I like it? Let me put it back on, and then I'll put it back on again and shit. But that's what I got.
Okay, nice, man. So what do you rate it then?
7.75, dude.
7.75. That's pretty decent.
Yeah,
that's pretty decent.
I don't remember what we were saying. We're not putting them too high to say, okay, on the list of best of the years, here's a couple of people, or here's some people that I think will last a lot longer. I don't think this is going to last, but I think he should get the respect.
Right.
So I couldn't put him over 8, but I had to put him close to because I'm not sure what else he would have had to do to get above 8. But right now, he had a really respectable release.
Well, again, to your point, I give it the push to man. I match you. I say I match you because, again, man, just for you to be at the top of your game to make an album that has only 2 features and it's a singing nigga and your brother, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, like that's what new artists do. You know, that's what, okay, this is my first album. Okay, to his point. This is my first album, so I want my first album to be me. I want y'all to hear what I got to say. And then my next couple albums, you know, then the ball will start rolling, then I put features on. But you're not at the top of the game when you're making those decisions.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, like Jadakiss. Jadakiss was already lit before Kiss the Game Goodbye came out. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And he had Nas featured on that album. You know what I'm saying? Like he's no, I'm not gonna call. He is the Jadakiss is the Offset of the Locks. Okay. Because he can rap, you know what I'm saying? But he got the lingo. TakeOff is the Styles P of it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. You know, and you really, I can't compare. I'm not comparing Sheek Lutz to Quavo. That's really no comparison. Quavo is a man of his own when it comes to the group.
He's a unique dude.
He's Mr. Ad-Lib. He's like semi the hype man, but then he's like the swag of the crew. You know what I'm saying? Like
he's the face of the crew. If there's a face of the Migos, it's Quavo. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't see Quavo, then it's kind of like, oh, yeah, those are those guys that's on the Migos. But when you see Quavo, it's like, oh, the Migos are here, you know? Right.
So yeah, man, I definitely give it a 7.75. I love the fact that he did it on his own, like as an artist, as a rapper. Mm-hmm. With millions, nigga, in reach. Yeah, man, let me pull this $1 million. Let me get this artist real quick. Like, I would have put Meek Mills on that motherfucker. I would have tried to pull a J. Cole verse on that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have did some old stupid shit on my first single. You know, I'm at the top of the game. Yep. I don't need Drake. I done had Drake on all my tracks. I don't need Drake. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't have to.
Millions, nigga. Yep. You know, shit. We got Cardi in our back pocket.
But with Takeoff, you would think, on the outside, you would think he needs that because you don't hear from him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got my man, he got Cardi, you got Quavo, who's the front man, and then you got the third guy. So you would think that he's gonna need a couple of features on
he
here.
He feels some type of way.
Yeah, so I better get some support. You know what I mean?
He doesn't have the confidence that both of those have. You got the hardest artist in the game, and then your goddamn cousin, your brother, he could slick talk about the other second female hottest artist in the game.
Easily.
You know what I'm saying? He smashed her.
Yep.
Both of these niggas is smashing both of the hottest chicks in the game, and I make a solo album with no features.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because fuck that, nigga. I'm that nigga. Y'all think these two niggas is that shit. I'm that nigga. You know, and that's the respect. That's why I liked him. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's why I liked Takeoff presenting it like he did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They weren't my favorite tracks by any
dude.
means.
Yeah.
They weren't my favorite tracks by any means, but damn, he stood on his own and it sounded damn good.
Yep.
You know, I wouldn't mind hearing another album from him.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? With the Quavo, it's like, okay, I know the whole album's not gonna be 5, but
you're gonna have some shit on him. Yeah, you're gonna have some shit on him.
What's rocking? The Offset is like, okay, I know he's gonna have some really good tracks on here, but it's still gonna be the Quavo type of. But he got more substance. That's the crazy part. Mm-hmm. Like the least substance is Quavo, then Offset. The most substance is Takeoff. But Quavo got the most swag. Like the biggest balance, Offset has the best balance because he got flow and then he got swag.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Takeoff, he got swag, but he quiet.
Mm-hmm. He got low key shit. He got the low key, yeah.
Right, but he got flow.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Quavo don't got no flow, but he got swag out the fucking world. You know what I'm saying? This nigga plays basketball with everybody. You know what I'm saying? This nigga's like, he a baller, man. He's that nigga. You know, so it's a great combination that QC has put together. You know what I'm saying? It's like genius a combination because in these times, man, QC is the new No Limit. You know, yeah. QC is whatever they put out, it's not about how much they sell. That's the genius part that they figured out. We're at a point where we got enough clout to where, and we got enough bread to where we just need to push artists out.
Right.
It's not about the Migos no more. Yeah. It's about QC.
But Migos is the headliner.
Migos is the headliner. Guess what? QC behind them. Cardi's the second motherfucker. Guess what? QC's behind him. Oh, do y'all want anything else?
Oh, Lil Baby,
all that new shit. We're creating the sound that you like.
Yep.
We're giving y'all the sound that you like. We're making you like this sound. Do you know how many people that ran up to me and was like, you know what, man? I done fucked around and started liking Lil Baby. You know, I ain't like him at first. But
Yep.
You know what, man? Lil Baby nice. You know, that auto-tune, he make that shit sound good.
So, and speaking of auto-tune, he didn't have a lot of that on here. You notice that?
He was rapping, man. Yep. He was rapping, man.
Because I remember we was talking about that on the last one.
They want to be able to rap back. I think Offset looks at Takeoff and waits for him to finish his verse. You know, or like he's like, he has Takeoff in his head when he's rapping this shit. So he's, like, I gotta go harder than this nigga Takeoff. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. I gotta go harder than Takeoff. And as long as I put the ad libs that he don't use as much,
I can stand
that
out.
His brother use, and I use the flows that Quavo don't use as much. I got a lane. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what Offset. I think Offset is the smartest out of all of them.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's able to use both of their flows and create his own from it.
So that'll be interesting hearing his solo.
Oh yeah.
Because you got. Takeoff and Quavo with theirs. Now, let's see how he stands. Does he stand in the middle, or does he lean toward one or the other? Or is he going to be like, I got to be different?
Well, first off, he know he that nigga.
Right.
So he's going to have at least 4 features. Easy.
Okay.
Easy. He's definitely going to have, count them, I'm going to say 4 to 6.
I say 6.
He got so much swag, he's going to have at least 14 to 16 tracks.
Okay.
If he has less than that, oh, that's going to surprise me.
Yeah.
If he has 12, I'll be like, okay. If he has 14 to 16, I'll be like, yeah, that's that ego.
Yeah.
If he has less than that, if he has 12, I'll be like, okay, QC put that together.
Mm-hmm.
If he has more than 12, it's going to be like,
I
okay,
want that.
Yeah, QC negotiated 2 more tracks. You know, that's how I feel right now. It ain't came out yet, so you know what I'm saying. But I like QC, dog, because it's making me look at them like, ooh, what's their next move? Ooh, what they finna do next? Ooh, what's coming out this week? Ooh, what's their next move? You know what I'm saying? Like, like I done looked at the Lil Baby documentary on YouTube. I done looked at the City Girls documentary on YouTube, and the Lil Baby documentary actually has P, the CEO, giving his little story out, you know, about how he kind of did his thing. And it also gives a small snippet of Coach K kind of breaking down his little lifestyle or whatever. So it's like when I'm looking at how they move and I'm just like, wow. In this era, they're saying, I like this sound. I don't care what sound is out. I like this sound, and we're going to move on this sound right here.
Yeah. Until it's done.
Mm-hmm.
Until it's done, we're going to keep moving on it.
And guess what? We are the ones that's going to say it's done. You know what I'm saying? Until they get there, until they get to their point of the Rockefeller point, to where they broke up, till they get to their Golden State Warriors point, to where the Draymond Green on QC spazzes out on the biggest artist on the fucking label, and then they got to start splitting up.
Right.
Until that happens, I say that we are going on year 3 of Culture. Mm-hmm. We are 3 years into QC, the label, and I say they got at least 2 more years.
But look at what they're doing. So we're gonna stick with QC real quick. Look at what they're doing. What they're doing is, everybody's going to get something. Everybody will get something. We're not going to leave nobody out.
Right.
And on top of that, I may give you more than one a year. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to come into the studio and if the shit is right and work hard, we're going to get it released, dude. We're just going to do it. Yep. And everybody's getting some. So it's not like the ego shit going to hit there unless, if you're going to get your ego, do it in the studio. Make a better album than that motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Not, I need to leave here because they not giving me, you know, what I want. I want another release, and they holding me and they telling me to wait. No, they letting everything out. Everybody's getting that shit.
And then this the thing. So off of the Lil Baby documentary, he said that Lil Baby made like 4, maybe, I don't know how many fucking projects. He said he made 5 projects in 13 months or some shit like that.
Damn.
It's like stupid.
Damn.
But again, what that's doing is, I bet you QC is having round table meetings. It's like, Lil Baby just dropped another mixtape. What y'all finna do? Yep. What y'all doing? They said Lil Baby, he went out of town and said, bruh, Don't even shop for a hotel. Just give me a studio, and I'll just sleep in the studio, bro.
Damn. So he's like, I'm gonna do this shit until I can't do this shit no more.
Right, and the CEOs is like, look what our youngest artist is doing. Mm-hmm. What the fuck are y'all doing? Mm-hmm. You know what? QC season is at the end of this year. I need everybody to be prepared to drop an album. I need everybody to be prepared to drop a project.
Yep.
Because Babies is already done. You know what I'm saying?
And he got a couple of them out.
Right. And we finna drop another mixtape. He finna get his future on if he's not careful.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I think QC's smart, man. Them two gentlemen, man, them P and Coach K, man, them two with them heads together, man. I think once Lil Baby drop his album on the 30th, I think you're not gonna see him until the summertime.
Who, Lil Baby?
Yep.
Nope. I think he's going to be out with 21 Savage.
Ooh, you think they're going to drop something together?
So, the way 21 Savage is continually showing up, dude, and Lil Baby continually showing up, it's telling me either they're gonna put them together or maybe Gunna and 21, but they're gonna do another matchup. And to your point, they may say, well, let's beat fucking Future at his game. Let's run this kid with a couple of other features, other people, and they may do that. I just see that may be a good possibility at the beginning of the year. You know what I'm saying?
21 and Baby, that would be slick.
That'll be different. That'll be a good sound, dude.
I can't wait to get into this next album.
I know.
I remember the shade that you were throwing on 21. Man,
yes, I did. Yes, yes, I did.
So let's go ahead and get into that, man.
All right, no, so that's cool. We got 7.75 on both of them, which is very respectful, and I'm happy for him. Even if people don't like it, I'm telling you, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of it. So really appreciate the TakeOff release.
That's what's up.
So join us next time when we jump into the Metro Boomin release, and you can see all the quality control artists and features. So see you next time.